there we go. Debrief. Woo! Let's go. Gig.
Wow.
What inspired performance? Someone that really inspired my performances was Lizzie McIntyre. She is literally one of my favourite artists ever. I just love how chill her music, how laid back it is, which is lovely. She really inspired it because when you look at I don't look at a lot of live performances, but when you do look at hers, which I have done, she's really laid back and chill, and she'll just sit on a chair and play her guitar, and it's so much nicer. It takes a lot less energy. For like once or twice, it is nicer to not have to focus so much on performance and just feel the song you're singing. Whereas the last couple of years, it's been more, well, I've been trying to work more on my performance and my stage presence as a whole, because before it wasn't really good, and I would just stand there like a stick on songs that required you to move and perform it. So I do like that, but I also did quite enjoy taking a break from jumping around the stage, running around, trying to dance, because I can't dance. So it was quite nice. I listened to, I can't remember what it was called. She did this performance. It's called Cherry something. And I listened to that, and she sung so beautifully, and it was really nice to watch from the perspective of, I wouldn't call myself a guitarist, but like through that aspect, because I'm not really good at playing standing up. I can't really do it very well, or at all yet. And it's quite nice to see that she was in fact sitting down playing guitar, so it made me feel a bit more confident in doing it for like in the future if I ever want to do that, because this gig I did want to play guitar for my songs. However, I really got the shakes beforehand. Like, even just thinking about it, I was getting like really shaky and nervous, and I was like, I don't want to mess this up. One point I'm gonna have to do it, and I'm gonna mess it up, and it's gonna be annoying, but just for this, I shouldn't say this, but just this once, I can get myself to do it. So I asked Zach to help me, and also play guitar for my covers as well, which he was very kind in doing, and so incredibly helpful, and I'm really grateful. So I watched that performance, and I watched a performance of her when she first performed the song Spring into Summer. Incredible. To be honest, there's not much to talk about with her performance. I feel like she just really feels the song, which is what I want to do. Is I wanted to, feel it and try and show through my body language rather than run it. And it was like incredibly relevant. All of her songs, all of her music, all of her performance is incredibly relevant to what I was doing, because she's such a big inspiration to my music. It has the same sort of, I wouldn't say exactly the same sound, but it has the same kind of vibe to them. So it really showed me like how to tone it back performance wise, which was nice. So it was extremely relevant to be looking at her music so that I could see how to do it, which was nice. I know a little bit about the venue before the gig, because my best friend Lily does open mic nights there, and when I went to Dartford's Got Talent, they recommended the Mole Hole to me, because I'm completely stuck on what I'm doing next, to be honest. So it was really nice to hear some like advice from people who are already out there and already doing this stuff, rather than like people like in my course who are also like, oh, what do we do next? But I did know a bit about it. I didn't know the size. It was tiny when I got there. I was shocked. and I didn't really know where it was, so that was a bit iffy trying to get there, but it was alright. I think a different venue, the problem is I don't know many venues. I don't really go out and perform in like pubs and like open mic nights, is what I'm trying to say. So I don't really know any other venues really. I would have personally loved to just do it in college, but at the same time I understand that it would be literally, there's not many of us this year, so it wouldn't be that big of a, it wasn't a big of an audience anyway, but it would look absolutely tiny. But however, it was so difficult getting to Gravesend, because where I live, all the trains, like that, just that day, no trains was leaving the station. I had to get a bus to Dartford, and I had to get to Dartford you have to go through Crayford. There was roadworks in Crayford, and I was like at least half an hour late because then the train got delayed. Nightmare. And I did leave like an hour and a half early, and I still managed to be late, and it wouldn't normally take me an hour and a half, but it was a nice experience, and I want to go to open mics at the Mole Hole, so it was nice to just, the first step, you know. I was aware of the procedures of like performing live, like the sound check, the rehearsal, the final bow, but it's very different. It was very different this time, because when you're at college you spend the whole day sound checking and rehearsing, and when you're not rehearsing on stage you rehearse off stage, and it's like a mutual agreement between everyone what you're doing. Whereas obviously this gig, we weren't there the whole day, we were there for a couple of hours, and because everyone, I think almost everyone was a little bit late. I was the latest because I'm the furthest away, but everyone was a little bit late, so there was no really time to rehearse. Me and Zach did rehearse a little bit, but it was like 10 minutes because obviously everyone went to talk to each other, which I don't blame them, because I wanted to yap as well. Unfortunately I'm a professional yapper here, so I don't really blame them, but obviously it made it difficult to rehearse. The sound check, it's so different, it's just so different from college. Sound check in college, you have so many different instruments on the stage that, because it's a bigger stage, whereas the Mole was like tiny, and you have so many people up there that it takes a bit longer. Whereas sound check for this, it was literally not even like 2 minutes, because the song was only like 2.5 minutes, and it was just like a chorus and a verse, and it was like, oh, okay, and it's only one song, and it wasn't all of the songs. Whereas in college we normally sound check every single one, and we go through it and we sound check. So it was different, and we didn't really do a final bow because obviously it was individual sets, whereas in college you're everywhere. You're all throughout the gig, you know, you're like, oh, I'm here, I'm here, I'm here, I'm here. Whereas this one is like, I'm here, I'm gone. Which was crazy to me, personally. So we didn't really do a final bow, but Lily was the last one to perform, and she did like, oh, give it up for so-and-so, I'll give it up for so-and-so, which was kind of nice. I had some issues with choosing covers, because I didn't really know what was wanted of me, you know, because it was like 2 weeks before the gig, probably not even that, and then that's when I got told we could do covers, and I wasn't told beforehand. So then obviously I'm thinking I need a 25-minute set, because you can boost it up a lot with covers, and then I got told, then I got told not that many, don't do a lot, didn't get told how much, and then I got told only you can't exceed the amount of originals you have, which is fair. All of this is fair, by the way, but I just wish it was communicated sooner and quicker, instead of having to ask 20 times. It already wasn't 20 times, but you know what I mean. And I was I'm really unsure whether we could use a backing track or not, and that was a whole other shenan. And obviously I was getting more and more stressed, and I had work, and I've been working 4 or 5 days a week, and I'm not used to that, so I'm knackered because of that. They're trying to train me to be a supervisor. I've got a gig at college. I don't know what's going on. Then I feel like people aren't communicating with me properly or efficiently, and so it was a whole nightmare. So what I did is I gave up on the idea of backing tracks, and I just said to Zach, can you play these songs for me, because I'm not really getting a firm answer. I just need a firm yes or no. So is it alright if you could play these songs for me? And he said yes, thank God, because otherwise I probably wouldn't have been able to do it. Oops. Learning the songs, okay, I'm at fault here. I'm at fault with a lot of things that happened, because I was just too stressed to think properly. But learning the songs, I picked songs like Lizzie McAfee songs for covers that I knew really well, and I have spells where I just listen to like the same thing on repeat, so I listened to her album on repeat for like months, so I knew the songs, you know what I'm saying? So I didn't really rehearse them that much, and then there was a Movie Star, and I started it too high on the night, and it's like an octave down, and I really panicked. But all I could do in the moment was just correct myself and jump down. I could have carried on, but then it would have got to a point where it would get too high for me to sing nicely. And this is a problem I had. 5-10 minutes before we started, I choked on a sweet. I had these red and pink sour bottles, and I choked on a sweet. Choked on one of them. My throat was killing me. I was so croaky. I kept chugging water to try and like get rid of it. Didn't work. So that was a problem. I couldn't solve it because I just choked, and I tried to solve it with water, and it didn't work. I was like, no. So I feel like some bits weren't as good as they could have been, purely because I choked on a sweet, and it really annoyed me. So future gigs, I'm never having one of those again. Oh my god, it was so annoying. What was another issue? We didn't have enough rehearsal time. I should have set up a rehearsal between me and Zach, because this is going to sound horrible, and I don't mean it in a horrible way, but he didn't play some of the songs correctly. I thought. And like, I think there's odd timings on one of Lizzie's songs, chords wise, and I didn't have enough time to kind of be like, hey, it's not. But I adapted to it because there was nothing else we could really do because it was so late. But I didn't think it sounded too bad. Like, to someone who doesn't know, like, listen to Lizzie McAfee religiously like I do, I didn't think notice. It's only because I listen to it so often. I don't think there was an issue with soundcheck. Soundcheck went fine. Wow! I remember. This is what I mean by communication just sucked this time. I got told, and this was between like classmates, this wasn't teacher-student thing, this was between classmates. I got told that it would go Erin and Zach, me, Lily. I get told 10 minutes before. They've changed it so I'm starting, and then it's Erin, Zach, and then it's Lily. And that would have been fine if I had been told sooner, you know what I'm saying? But to be told last minute, I'm an anxious person. I have set in my head exactly what I'm going to do, and then I get told it's changed. Threw me off a little bit. And then I got up there and I was trying to speak and I just kept stuttering. And I kept falling over my words, and it is really annoying. But it is the way it is. And once again, there's nothing you can do to solve this issue. Because I was kind of like, guys, this is not what we planned. And they were just, I don't think they realised how serious I was. So there was nothing that could really be done, because they didn't want to move back. And so, be a bigger person, don't start an argument before you go on stage. All that. I think communication with the audience went quite well. I tried to do like little intros. I wrote them down on what I was doing next. Obviously that's when I started over them, because I just couldn't think. I even took my notepad with me, but hold on. It was raining. Didn't get my bag and my book wet. So I did little introductions. Aha, these are my introductions. Took my book on stage. Didn't look at it. Stupid. But I kept stuttering over them. What was I even saying just now that I got onto this topic? Communication with the audience. But, you know, the audience, they clapped when it was needed. And at the very end, I had to do like a bit like, buy our vinyl. Oh, I remember, the last song. This is my favourite thing to do. Is when it's the last song, you go, oh, it's the last song. And if they don't react, you go, oh, and get them to be like, oh no. And it's really sarcastic and it's really funny, and I love doing it. I don't know, it just makes me giggle, because you have to boo now. You have to say, oh. It's just not even that funny. But yeah, so communication with the audience, I would say quite well it did. I feel like one mistake I made on stage was wondering, I feel like I was just off key, and I can't explain it, but I just feel like I wasn't there. And also the thing with movie star. But I think that was all that really went wrong, which is quite good for me. I didn't forget any words. Can't remember anything else. I didn't do any warm-ups. I think I did a little bit, but I didn't do much. I was having an argument with my mom right before I left, and like the whole day we were kind of fighting. So I don't have a chance. My warming up was having a shouting match, actually. So there wasn't much time, and then obviously I choked on a sweet, so I don't think it would have mattered anyway, because I choked on a sweet. Me and I thought we'd have beef now. Beef! Because what do you mean? I felt so scared. I can't explain it. There was just something within me that was like, the end is here. I'm gonna die. I'm not making it through this gig. And obviously it was fine. But at the time, it felt like horrid, and I just had to cope. I just had to suck it up. I took my dog with me, because he comes to every single gig that I have. So he had to come with me, even though I didn't have my mum and she didn't come with me. I had to have him. Ooh, girl, put your collar away. Gosh. He had to come with me. And what I try and do is, every time I have a gig, I kiss him twice on the head. And then I convince myself that it's because I've kissed him twice on the head that I'm going to have a good gig. And if I don't do it, I panic. So that's how I coped. I took a couple deep breaths, give him a hug, talk to myself in the mirror. There's this, my old music teacher used to say something to me. He used to say, I think he said, you are a plane in the sky and the clouds are your problems, and you are like, you just move past them, you know what I'm saying, they just go. Or it was like, you are the sky and the clouds are your problems and they pass. The point is, the problems pass and they're not here forever. And if something goes wrong, it's gonna be over, so it doesn't matter. It matters, don't get me wrong, it matters, but it won't kill you to make a mistake on stage, which actually, getting in that mindset of it's going to pass, it will pass, everything passes, made me feel so much better, and it always does. So I just have to think about that, kiss my dog twice on the head, give him a hug, take a deep breath, take 3 deep breaths, relax my shoulders, just do it. And it was in this movie I watched, see, very movie orientated I am, do it on the count of 3, but you say like 1, 2, and then you do it. You don't just get to 3, you just go. Because if you get to 3, then you're going to go, oh no, I don't want to do it. So you go, 1, 2, go. Instead of 1, 2, 3, go. And it actually, so helpful. I could have done so much differently. I could tell you about it for 50 years. I could have rehearsed better. I could have set up meetings between me and Zach. I could have asked him sooner so that he would have had more time. I could have, actually used my notepad and used my, I've got movie tickets in here, I didn't know that. I could have used my lyrics in here to calm me down, so know that I had them on me. I could have thought about stories that I could have talked about within my original songs, like, oh, fun little fact while I was writing this song, which I didn't do and everyone else did, and I look stupid. I look so stupid. I could have not argued with my mum. I could have not choked on a sweet. I should have warmed up. I should have checked more than an hour and a half before what was happening with the train, so that I would have got there on time and probably would have had more time to rehearse. I could have tried even harder to communicate with everyone and ask what was going on, instead of them changing things last minute and not informing me. So many things could have gone differently and been done better. I feel like if I didn't have my job, I wouldn't have been as stressed. But unfortunately, I need an income, so that's not something I could have really done differently actually. But maybe got a job sooner, then maybe it wouldn't have stressed me out as much. But there's always going to be a starting point. You know what I mean? There's always going to be a point where you're going to get stressed because it's the first time you've done it. And this was that one. Compared to like FMP last year, it's so different, and I miss last year. Last year's FMP, I felt so good about myself, and I felt like I'd done amazing, and there was mistakes, but whatever, because I did so good. And this time I just felt like really bad about the whole thing, and about like it just wasn't the way I wanted it. And it was just, maybe I just like singing covers more, because last year was just covers, and maybe that's why I enjoyed the F&P more, because I didn't have to come up with anything, and it wasn't as vulnerable. Like, I could put my emotions into the song, but no one knew that I wasn't acting. Whereas an original song, it's like kind of expected that it's not acting. So I think that's why I didn't enjoy it as much, and I think that's why it was so different to me. And the small stage, the not energetic songs, which is obviously my doing, but it just didn't help me feel calm or enjoy it. But at the end of the day, you're not going to enjoy every gig. I didn't enjoy a lot of gigs from last year. The FMPs were the only ones I really enjoyed a lot. So at the end of the day, you can't really mind about it. It's over, done it, did all right. I could hit myself just fine on the stage. Could I? Whew. I think I zoned out a little bit while I was up there because I was stressed. You're gonna hear the word stress so much in this. I zoned out a little bit, a lot. So I can't actually remember. Wait, no, I did. I had myself a K, but it wasn't like. There's two extremes here, okay? I'm gonna give you two extremes. You have FMP, last year, and you have Christmas gig. What year was it? This is 2026, 2024, FMP 2020, it was 2025, and then Christmas gig 2024, March year. Level 3 higher, there we go, level 3 higher. FMP, heard myself perfectly. Christmas gig, couldn't hear myself at all. That's the two extremes. This is this gig. It's in the middle. I could hear myself, but I wasn't very loud in my ears. But it wasn't as bad as the Christmas gig 2 years ago. Couldn't hear anything. It was completely guesswork, and I had like a song where I was singing majority of it in head voice, and I don't normally do that. And it was the first time I was kind of doing that, so it was really stressful because I was like, I don't know if this sounds good. And we did try and communicate with that with the techies, but no. I could hear Zach fine. He was the only one on the stage, so I could hear him fine. I think he was a bit. He said to me, it sounded like he was a lot louder than I was. But I felt like I couldn't sing any louder than I was. The audience, my grandma, who was in the audience, alright, sorry, continuing on, my grandma who's in the audience said that the guitar was a lot louder than I was. But other than that, it was fine. Like, sound-wise, there we go. I got the audience, their reaction, beautiful by the way. College, it's like, if you're not their kid, when you're their kid, you know what I'm saying? But I was a bit nervous because these weren't like all family members, you know. So I didn't know what their reaction was going to be, but I got quite a bit of, we all got quite a bit of applause and like a really good round of it. Every song I got really good applause, even the ones I messed up, and it made me calm down so much. It's like, if I can mess up this song and you're going to give me that applause, beautiful, and it was lovely. It made me feel so much better. Honestly, if every gig was like that, I'd never stop. Audience reaction wise, not messing up wise. Yeah, it just made me feel so much better. My favourite song on the set. I don't know. As in, like, my set, my favourite song. I feel like if I say one of mine, it's gonna come across like really self-centered, but I really did enjoy performing growing up. It's fine, it's cool, you moved on, it's what you're meant to do. I really enjoyed it. Cheeky snaky bit of enjoyment there. Really proud of that song. In general, yeah, I think that was my favourite song. There we go, I said it. Within the gig, my favourite moment was not me singing. It was the booing bit. Like, oh, it just made me laugh so much. It's just so fun. What I would like to erase from people's memories. Every single time I messed up on that stage, every time I stuttered, the stuttering particularly, when I mess up a song, you know, I'll do better next time when I muck up speaking. Oh my god. When I have to speak, oh my god. I hate speaking. Okay, I'm going on a massive yap, so obviously clearly I don't hate speaking. I hate speaking in front of people. I can talk to a camera, I can talk to my mom, I can talk to my friends, I can talk to my work colleagues. I can't talk to my customers. I can't talk to teachers. I can't talk to an audience. You see what I'm saying? I really struggle with speaking, and I have the whole time I've been alive, actually, but let's narrow it down. At college, we did a couple of things where we had to do presentations in the first year. I had a couple times where I had to speak on stage. Never gets any less scary. The only time, the Christmas gig this year, it's not this year, but like this college year, I didn't do too bad. Speaking wise, it was still incredibly awkward because they were mostly just like stupid puns, but you can get away with that at Christmas. You can't get away with that any time of the year. Any other time of year, you can't get away with saying stupid puns. So I just erased my stuttering mess from people's minds. My grandma said it didn't sound that bad, but when I was, to me, it sounded horrific. The problem is with if the room was busier, it would have a different vibe because none of us would be able to move because it was so small. There was like 15 people. Okay, that's a lie. There was more than 15, I reckon. I don't know. Was it? But it was incredible. You had people standing up because there wasn't enough seats. It was so small. People were standing on the stairs out because obviously it's underground. People were standing on the stairs to get out. It was so packed. Any busier, I feel like the vibe would have been ruined because for me at least, because I would be having a panic attack because I'm claustrophobic. I'm claustrophobic, Darren. You know.
I'm claustrophobic, Darren! Listen.
I would have approached it differently if I was playing in a different venue. If I was at college, I would have. I don't think I would approach it any differently, actually. In terms of the songs I had, because I wanted to pick covers that went with the same vibe of my song. Obviously, listen, I can't. So I couldn't really do like energetic songs because they didn't match the vibe of my songs. But if I'd written energetic songs and a perform energetic songs, of course I would have changed my performance a lot more because I'd be running around the stage like a little demon, whereas these songs don't require that, so it's fine, it's cool. This is a stand because I'm trying to get some tech for home because I do actually somewhat enjoy writing songs. And I ordered a microphone stand. Microphone stand came. Microphone. It's not coming till November. Cancelled. Getting a new one. Different one even. It was so easy to concentrate on that stage. There was nothing else to do except for sing. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm a face puller, as you can tell. My songs weren't songs you could really pull faces, like show within your face, I don't think. So it was quite, hard to do that. So obviously, would signing out be a distraction? I don't know. There wasn't enough going on to be a distraction because everyone was so kind. They wouldn't talk when you were performing. They'd only talk. Hello. They'd only talk once you were done, which was nice. At the end of the performance, I just felt relieved. I didn't feel happy about what I did. I didn't feel sad about what I did. I was just relieved and I just wanted to go. I just wanted to go home. Couldn't do that because I wanted to stay for everyone else. But, something I would change in regards to how I might be remembered by the audience would be hear me out, my fringe. If I could have a different image that night, I would have fixed my fringe. I have like this bit of fringe like this, and it's gonna go weep. What the hell? No one told me. Cause I just brushed my hair, so it was all nice and curly, and it was lovely. And right now it's a greasy mess, and it's sticking up everywhere. And I put it up in a half up, half down. Fringe. Weep. Ridiculous. What else might have changed? Give me I need a serious one. It was a funny one. I need a serious one. I don't know. Maybe better originals. There we go. That's a good one. Performing live is good for carving a career in music. Especially open mic nights, if someone sees you, I know for Lily, someone saw her at an open mic night and then they booked a gig with her, a paid gig with her. So performing live is extremely important if you want to be able to get gigs and stuff. I know Lily's done quite a few out of college. I don't do as many. I do a couple, I do like a charity event every year, and I did Dartford's Got Talent, but she does more than me. Because I feel like I just need to get some confidence. I'm only going to get out performing, but I just need to do it. So, how will you use this? No. I'm going to use this gig as a starting point, or like somewhat a reminder of how bad it can go. Not how bad, but like how much you can kind of mess up if you don't rehearse properly. But also a point to be like, look, I can do it. I've done it. Now just do it again. And keep going and like do open mic nights. I had someone in Darkest Got Talent recommend that I record every single open mic night I have, put it online, so I can like be like, oh, this is what I'm like performing. Hire me. So this is like a start. This is the very beginning of what I want to do. Some other venues, I would love to do the Christmas lights switch on. I've done it before, but I've done it with a group. I used to go to Jack and Joshua Academy, obviously they book it and everything. But from what I've heard, if you go busking up Bexley Heath, they might ask you to do their Christmas switch light on. And the stage gets quite a nice stage. You get quite a crowd. And I just think it'll be fun. That's what I want to do. There we go, that's what I want to do. I think that'll be fun. Yeah. Why do I want to do it? It's fun. I just said why I want to do it. Why am I saying it again? So I'm going to have to get my busking license. I was going to do it anyway. I've been saving up for some equipment. Equipment is expensive. I need to build upon my sound as an individual artist quite a bit. What I want to work on is my instrumentation. The minute I've only got a guitar, I feel like I can learn how, like, drums, not a lot, a little bit, bit drums, bit keys, synth, and bass. That's what I want. That's what I want to work on. I feel like I have a good thing going. I just need to expand upon it, and I really need to work on my songwriting skills. It's okay, but it can be better. Sometimes it gets me down because I think it's good, but it can be better. But I think I need to think of that more as an inspiration than like something that gets me down. I need to be like, oh, I can't do it yet, I'm gonna work on it now, rather than I can't do it yet, but you know what I mean, or it's good, but instead of like that, I need to be like, it's good, but I can be better, so I'm going to be better. That's the mindset I need to get myself in, which will be difficult, but it's gonna have to happen. It's gonna happen sometime. I could ask Lily for some help. I've asked Lily for help in the past, or like advice on what I should add to songs. Which, like, for Wondering, she said I should, or After It Passes as I put it on here, I could add some synth. I just need that help. I feel like I need to be shown. I need to be shown, and then I can do it. It's like a work. Show me, and I'll do it. So yeah, that's it. I just need to be shown, then I'm good. And it'll be so helpful. Please, show me how to do it. So that's gonna be like a research, do research, YouTube, TikTok research. You know what I'm saying? TikTok's not really good research, but sometimes you get someone say something a bit helpful. What part of the process I could do on my own? What does that mean? What, of expanding on my sound? I don't know. I could probably try and learn all of it on my own. Whether I have the time is another issue. But I hope to be able to do it on my own. But obviously, if I feel the need, there's loads of resources online to learn. There's also a lot of people online who are willing to help you, like, actually do stuff. And there's people you can pay, or you can get into bands, and I really want to get into a band. I think I would really enjoy it. It's just finding one and not being completely self-conscious about every little action. So I'd need to collaborate when I get to the point where I'm like I'm gonna try and learn, and then if I can't, then I'm gonna ask someone for help. I say that like it's so simple, and I'm gonna do that. I prefer working independently because especially with songwriting, it's so vulnerable, and it's so, to me, it is very vulnerable, and probably because I just don't talk about my feelings a lot, but to me, songwriting is a really emotional process as well, and at the moment, I do not want anyone on that journey with me. Go away, leave me alone, which is why a lot of times when like teachers come to the studio, and they're like, oh, do you need any help? I'll be like, no, because to some degree, I do not want you listening to my emotions through song. But I'm gonna have to snap out of that mindset. But I do love working individually. Oh, I just like being by myself. I'm a very by myself kind of person. I would prefer to spend like a day in my room rather than a day outside. Just why I don't really like working in customer service, because you're with someone, you're with people all day. Whatever. It's money. So. If I could do it all again, something I would change is communication. Okay, if I was to change something about the night, not just the night, but the whole lead up, communication. I wish we had like all sat down together and had a meeting and said, okay, we want this and this and this. Instead of we had like a little meeting, it was useless because I feel like all that got said was covers, you can do covers, and nothing else was really discussed because everyone had to go to work. And I was just like, I was left there like, oh, I thought I asked for the day off so we could do this. And nothing really got discussed, which is fine because obviously, in terms of everyone had to go to work, because I've had to ditch. I've had to bail out on things for college because I've had to go to work. But I feel like we should have organised a day where we'll all be able to come in and not have work, you know what I'm saying? So I would have done that so that we could have planned a bit more appropriately. set things in stone, and then I would have planned some rehearsals, maybe not many, just 2 or 3 beforehand, performing in front of each other. And then instead of rehearsing all apart from each other and then putting it together at the end, I feel like we would have benefited from having at least like 3 rehearsals of, like for me and Zach, obviously putting the songs together, knowing our parts away from each other and coming together, and the rest of us. I don't know if Zach and Aaron performed originals in front of people. I've never performed my originals in front of people, that was the first time. So it would have been nice to get some confidence with them before I performed them. And I think that would have changed them like drastically. But obviously, the world made you think of that, did they? Oof. Right, we're running out of storage, major. I think that's what would have made it perfect, is having everything set out perfectly. You know? Oh, sorry. Got your butt in the air. Didn't know. So yeah, that's all really. That's what would have made it perfect to me than by anyone else. Yeah, that's my final debrief. And then I'm finished. Oh, I'm not finished because I have to edit all this. But then I'm finished with college. I'm sad to be leaving college. But also, it has to happen. It has to happen, you know. It's like the whole thing with the plane and the sky and the clouds. Even good happy clouds pass. It's part of life. Just have to keep living it. Anyway, yeah. Okay, bye.